I gotta quit doing that. Future me, remind me to take that out. So, much like the towel, the Aeldari I haven't been fully happy with. I've just been, I painted them a color, and it was purple. I thought it was my girlfriend at the time's favorite color. Turns out it's not. It turns out she's no longer my girlfriend. So I have a spare army of Aeldari, and I've been building it out, and I liked the theme that I was doing with my towel being the Covenant. So I was trying to figure out Aeldari and how I wanted to do it. And in the lore, they have a whole bunch of craft worlds that aren't really aligned, but they are. So you can use a mixed bag from it. So that inspired me to name my Aeldari army the Coalition. Dun dun dun! The Covenant and the Coalition. So in the Coalition, we have one craft world that is providing all of the infantry and jet bikes. They run a nice little purple gambit. We might tint them a little bit to maroon later. Then we have another craft world that just supplies the race, and the race are reincarnated. So I'm thinking we'll call them like the Yohim or whatever from the Norse. We'll figure it out. We'll have a whole backstory by the time this ends. And then I've got some rangers coming in, so wood elves. I've got a war walker. I think I'm gonna slot the war walker with the rangers, and then I've got some shroud runners. Ba-ba-bum. And they're gonna be their own little mercenary thing. I'm thinking about getting them. Maybe I'll slot them in with the rangers and the war walker, and then have 3 craft worlds and have 3 different palettes to work with instead of like doing this hodgepodge bullshit. So that's what I'm gonna do. Progress report. Got the bases done. I repainted these guys, and I'm trying to decide on color schemes for these guys. I really like the all black and maybe gold. So generally speaking, when I'm going over here, I re-sprayed them to prime them because that has been my fatal flaw, is I haven't been priming these guys. And after I primed them with black, I'm going over and just adding a little bit more color to them. Not much though. Man, I forgot I have metallic. So I'm gonna add the metallic color to it and see how that turns out with it. And there's that one. That guy was a little bit too close. So we'll just paint this guy up real quick. Take off the boo-boos. Can you see what time it says on the clock?
By this it says 3:09.
3:09, okay. It doesn't look terrible. Ugh. That guy needs to get sprayed. not great, but it's not terrible. And it's really kind of the only real option I have. All right, well, I have some work cut out for me. Okay, new plan. I forgot I have metallic. So I'm gonna add the metallic color to it and see how that turns out with it. And there's that one. That guy was a little bit too close. So we'll just paint this guy up real quick. Take off the boo-boos. Can you see what time it says on the clock?
By this, it says 3:09.
3:09, okay. It doesn't look terrible. Ugh. That guy needs to get sprayed. Not great, but it's not terrible. And it's really kind of the only real option I have. I have some work cut out for me. All right, so we got just a little bit, and I am working on these bases. I'm gonna add a little bit more gray. Hopefully this kind of pops out a little bit more. Probably should have just used more pebbles instead of flocking. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. I wonder what this would look like. Maybe paint their guns gray. I don't know how I like that. but we're gonna check it out. All right, so we got just a little bit, and I am working on these bases. I'm gonna add a little bit more gray. Hopefully this kind of pops out a little bit more. Probably should have just used more pebbles instead of flocking. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. I wonder what this would look like. Maybe paint their guns gray. I don't know how I like that, but we're gonna check it out. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Okay. We're gonna paint this jet bike, and I just moved in to my new apartment. Thank God. Now, with the Wind Riders, they were already kind of fucked. So I didn't spray paint them, anything. I just went over and added more layers of purple. I don't know why both my armies turned out purple, but here we are, and that's where we're at with it. I'm going through, just adding a little bit more to them, and trying to, like, I guess, shine it out, buff out a turd. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I like how this guy's turning out, kind of. Yeah, hi. Tell me more.
Driving the Nissan Road with Google built in is like...
Hey Google, turn on Rocky's Food.
the ultimate connection. Drive the award-winning Nissan Road today.
160 Nissan vehicle, $730,000.
I wonder.
So many choices on Booking.com. There are so many dating days I could be. So I thought about $30 policy and music on top. 30,000 steps even without that.
Download the best defense against origin patterns. Reinforce that defense with Ram Lock Shield.
The move. There we go. I can't believe I'm missing where I lost that piece. Bailey, you are not being helpful.
Well, shoot. There's that. Come on. There. Whoa, way too much. Way too much. There we go. There's the color I want. Absolutely. Oh, okay. There's that guy. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to. You probably can't see. There we go. Well, it's as good as it's gonna get, I think. And then
and this guy right here, the Farseer on a jetpack, he was the first one that I actually primed and used my good paint from my airbrush that I broke because I didn't clean it. And my God, did it turn out good.
okay, let's see how she ends up looking. Ooh. See how that looks. I like it. Okay, let's see how she ends up looking. Ooh. See how that looks. I like it.
That is so much better. I'm blinded by the light. So I've been working on touching up the coalition or the Aeldari army that I've been building. I finished my war walkers, and I'm gonna toot my own horn. I'm really proud at how these turned out. Really proud. And it makes the rest of my army look incredibly shitty. Incredibly shitty. So we've got to fix that. We're still working on the Covenant army, but I don't really have any money for it right now to build it out. Everything else is painted pretty much to my satisfaction. So we're going to be focusing on the coalition for the time being. Yeah, so here's kind of what I got so far. I'm going to go back through and I'm going to add more yellow to the Wraith Guards on their gold, like their little gems or whatever, soul gems, whatever the fuck they're called. I'm going to go back over and do that. I've sort of mastered the art now of using the airbrush paint with a paintbrush. So I'm going to go back over the Guardians a little bit more and the Wave Serpent. And fingers crossed, I can kind of make it look halfway decent. So, as you can see, I ended up bailing on the yellow. It looked fucking awful, and it was a dumb idea. What I did do was get some gold drops and mixed. Well, I was initially going to paint the armor in gold, but I didn't shake it, and so it was coming out bad. And so I was going to mix a little bit of purple in there for some reason, and I shook it, and that's when I remembered I got to shake this shit up before I use it. And so I did that with a little bit more gold, and I got this purple goldish color. It almost looks like one of those chameleon cars, so like depending on which way you look at it, changes the color. And I fucking love it. Oh my god, I love it. So that has really inspired me. I'm gonna go back through on my Wraith Guard, my bikes, everything like that, and really try to touch it up the best I can using that scheme. And I gotta figure out, I don't know if I can call it the coalition if they're all a uniform color. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'll figure that one out, but I'm thinking I'm still just gonna call it the coalition. Whatever. Who the fuck cares? Who's gonna call me out on that shit? Super excited.
Power now, which means she can now feel like a valuable asset to the team, which was one thing that was bringing her down during that DLC. And she ends up using some of that power to create a backup plan. At some point later in the game, she'll come to Shepard's kit. It seems to have plans for the Crucible, as well as any knowledge they have gained on the Reapers up until this point.